This island is going to be the start of my next major project, because in today's episode, we are going to be finally starting working on the university build. Now, I know what you're thinking. G1, you said you were going to build the university on this mountain here. I know, I said I was going to do it over there, but honestly, I've been really wanting to make it look something like Hogwarts. And that actually just sparked a massive entire day brainstorm session. You might notice that we are in the middle of the ocean, but what I would like to do is actually moss over the ocean, kind of like how I've been doing back in the city of Caldera over there, but I want to build things from my favorite franchises here. So obviously we're going to start off with the Hogwarts inspired university here, but maybe we'll have like the Legend of Zelda castle go there. Maybe in the sky we'll have like Star Wars inspired ships fighting each other over there. I want to build some things from Avatar: The Last Airbender and so much more. So why not incorporate it all into one massive project over here that I don't really know the name of, but a project that I'm super excited for. After chopping down all of the trees and doing a little bit of terraforming, I think it's time that we start doing a little bit of landscaping. And by landscaping, I mean we're going to be doing the sides over here of this island. Even though I know that I do want to moss over all of this area over here, I still want the side of this to look a little bit nice. And I think the way we're going to do this is just by doing what we did in Caldera, just by placing the moss here. And then anywhere where we see some pieces of stone or anything that isn't some moss right here, we're going to replace it with some tuff here. This is what the side of the island now looks like. And with that done, it's time that we start working on the first part of the castle. Now, before we actually start working on the castle, because I do want to build it above, like on a little mountain there, what I want to do is actually make the entrance kind of be like right, maybe around here. Yeah, I think kind of right here is good, because I want the mountain to be kind of over here, because you have to remember, even though that this is an island right now, eventually this is going to be massive fields kind of going over there. So I think a mountain being right here would be perfect, and then that's where the actual castle will sit on. But the entrance to it, I think I want to make down here. Now I would like to kind of have like a massive kind of entranceway, almost like what we made in the last episode, and then it's going to go into a staircase, and then that's how you get into the castle itself. However, before we start working on the entrance itself, I actually want to quickly build up the mountain right here. Well, not the entire thing I should say, but just part of the mountain here. That way we have a little bit of stuff to work with. Alrighty, so I have built up part of the mountain. Just ignore that little back section over there. Okay, yes, I didn't build up the full mountain, but that's really just because I want to get the precedent for the actual castle build by starting off with the little entrance down here. So I like the idea of using cobbled deep slate for the majority of the build, because it kind of gives that old castle feel that I would like to get with this build. Now you can also see I didn't add any moss on this pillar here and this pillar here, because I didn't know where I wanted it to begin, because we might just build it like this, but we might also do some decorations right here, like I don't know. So okay, so here is the size that I would like to make this. It's a little bit smaller than I thought, but again, I don't want this to be like too distracting from the rest of the castle up there. So I'm kind of thinking something small like this, and then these are the doorways here. We have one here, and then we have one here. Now the really interesting thing is that we're gonna have this part here where this side of the building is going to be longer than this side, because the mountain goes to here, whereas this one goes over to here. I could just turn the mountain, honestly, and just make it go this way up to here, but if I did that, I think I want to make this entire section just a little bit longer instead, because I like it from afar. I like how big this is, and I know it's a little bit smaller on this side, which is why I'm leaning more towards doing that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that really quick. And I have returned, and I have finished decorating this exterior. Now honestly, this is probably subject to change a little bit. I have a strong feeling that as I design the actual castle up there, and as I find block paths that I like there, that I'll end up coming back down over to here and changing some things out. But honestly, it's not that bad right now. Now the interior is just decorated with some fog lights. These are the ochre foggy lights, and honestly, these are just kind of temporary. I think what we're going to do is in a future episode we'll come back and detail everything, because unlike the city of Caldera over there, I do want to detail everything. Oh, I actually lied to you guys, I didn't finish. I still have this little area that I need to do here, but I'll do that in a moment. But I think what I'm going to do really quick now is go ahead and finish building up the entirety of this mountain here. And yes, I do mean the entire thing over to here. Over to here, actually, go all the way around, and we're going to go all the way up as well. Let me quickly go ahead and do the mountain bit really quick. And here is the finished mountain, and as you can see, I did even do the sides, which I really like the look of this, honestly. And now it's time that we start working on the actual castle itself. Now, I have built a castle before on the Shenanigan SMP, And what I did on there was I broke it up into different sections, and I spent multiple videos on it. And I don't know if I want to break it up into separate videos again. but I want to do something kind of similar. So I think what we're going to start off by doing is working on the entranceway over here. Now, what I'm kind of picturing is we have the area down here. This is where like the students will like kind of enter. I'm picturing a staircase either going straight up this way or going up and then turning and then going up this way. I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of leaning more towards having it go sideways like this. That way we can kind of have like the main hall be right here. We can kind of have like almost a big rectangle right here. This will be like the main hall, and then we'll have a doorway that leads into the rest of the castle over there. So I've gone ahead and done a few things. The first one that I did was I actually made the staircase here. As you can see, well, not exactly, there are no stairs, so you do have to jump up every block, but don't worry, we are going to replace this with stairs here. This is just kind of for now so that I could have a way to get from down there up to here. And then as you can see, we do have this area here. So this is kind of what I would like to be kind of like the entrance hallway, if that makes sense. So you have the staircase here that you get up from, and then we'll end up going into here. We have, we're going to have a window there, and there. And then we have a door over here that leads into what will essentially be the rest of the castle. So we have like a random little thing over here with like a random little room here, just because, you know, Hogwarts usually has those weird one-off rooms that don't really make sense. So that's kind of one of these here. And then over here, we have like the Great Hall, as I want to call this. Now, the one thing that I'm going to directly steal from Harry Potter, and I'm only doing this because I've wanted to do this for so many years now, like literally since I was a kid, is we are going to be putting the candles in the sky. Well, technically the roof. As you guys know, they have the floating candles in the Great Hall where they have like, you know, all the tables and stuff where they eat. So we're going to be doing something similar to that. Although instead of having like a pedestal in the back here where like, you know, the professor will speak, I think we'll just have like big long tables here. And then this one will lead into the rest of the school over here. But I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is just build up this section here first, I think. I don't want to get too crazy and do the rest of the castle and then get overwhelmed and then, you know, not do as well as I know I can. So we're going to take one piece at a time. Well, I guess technically two, but I think that this is small enough for me to do. So let's quickly go ahead and do it really quick. Oh man, would you look at that? It actually does look so good. I really like it. Now, whilst I was building this, I had some time to think about how I want to go about the rest of this video. And I'll be honest, the initial plan for this video was going to be that we were going to build the entire castle, kind of just start building it, kind of like what we just did already, and just get everything done. And then in a future video, we would go in and decorate everything. However, I think we're going to go back to the way that I did on the Shenanigan SMP, where instead we're going to be doing it piece by piece, but doing a lot of decorating and a lot of detailing on that piece. I say piece like it's like a Lego build, but you know, I guess you could consider it to be like a Lego build, you know? And that's actually what I would like to work on next is the interior decorating. And I also do want to do some exterior decorating as well. We have this big flat land right here, which I don't love. We have one here, and then we have one right over there. You can see right by the window over here. I don't love the way that that looks, but we do have a couple of spots on the inside I would like to decorate. So we have the area over here that I already showed you guys. I would just like to make it look a little bit more welcoming, I guess, for the students of this university. We also have to get the stairs up here because, yeah, it's still jumping up these stairs. Don't worry, this is probably going to be one of the first things I do. And then we have this way here, the entrance hall right here. And then we also have the kind of main hallway here. Now it's going to lead into another hallway over here that will lead to, like, you know, the rest of the castle. And then we have the main hall here, which we do have some candles here. Right here, you can see we have a couple in that shulker box there. So we're going to be putting them in the sky. We're going to be getting some tables in, some candles, some lights. a lot of decorating because whilst I like these fog lights, these are kind of just the temporary ones that I use. So yes, we have a couple of places that I would like to decorate, but to start off, I'm gonna have to go ahead and gather some regular deep slate. Not like what this is made of here, but the deep slate you get when you use Silk Touch, because I think it's different enough that it doesn't just look like we use the same material for the wall on the floor, but it still kind of has that rough stone look that I want to go for with this castle here. So we're gonna have to go ahead and do another deep slate gathering session. For those of you guys who know, I just did a live stream yesterday where I collected a lot of cobbled deep slate for this here, and now I'm already back getting more deep slate. I am not really enjoying that part of this video. I've also gone ahead and added in these stairs here, which means we finally don't have to jump up the stairs anymore. Let's go. Now, I've done some thinking whilst I was placing down the floor, which this is what it looks like, by the way, which, yeah, I love the way it looks. Like, oh man, I just love the way it looks in combination with the rest of the deep slate here. Yeah, I was thinking I don't actually have a name for this university here. I've just been calling this the Hogwarts inspired university, but I want to have a name for it. I'm thinking of calling this build Ashmere University as a tribute to my real life cat Ash, which, fun fact about his name, I'm so bad with names. I actually Googled that name when we first got him all those years ago because yeah, I'm not very good with names. But what I know I'm definitely not good at is decorating. We're going to be starting to do the interior decorating. And I think the best place to start off by decorating is the Great Hall here because I already know what I want to do here. I want to kind of have massive chairs. I think we'll do like massive benches kind of in the back over here, kind of like how they have it in the movies. Now, do we want to have a table of 2 or do we want to have a table of 3? Because this is what it would look like. Honestly, I think the table of 3 is better in my opinion. Yeah, I do think it overall looks much better. So with the tables now in place, I think what we're going to do next is we're going to do the torches here. Now, usually I would just do the normal torches that you can make, but I want to try and do something a little bit different using the campfires actually, because it kind of has that little glow right there, which I do like, and the kind of smoke there. So what we're going to do is try and make something that looks just a little bit fancy. We might have to move this up by 1. Honestly, what about something like this? It's rather simple, but I do like it. Although maybe what if we replace this one with something else maybe what if we went with like a slab here instead? Ooh, okay, I do like that quite a lot. Okay, this is what we have so far. It looks pretty good, but as you can see, there are a couple of dark spots. And if I turn on this mod that allows me to see where monsters can spawn, you can see that a monster can spawn here, right here, and over on these sides over here if it's dark out. So I think it's time that we bring in the candles. Oh my goodness, we are going to finally look at the final result with all of the candles in. Oh man, I'm so giddy. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see this list. It's what we have. Oh my goodness, this is literally a childhood dream come true. I think I might do a little bit more on the top up there. I didn't go quite as high as I did over here, but man, oh, the floating candles, just like it is Hogwarts, man. I'm so happy with this. Although, yeah, I think I do want to do just a few more of these a little bit higher up, kind of like on this side over here, a little bit higher, like where we are at right now. Yeah, there we go. Just a couple more right there and right over there. I think definitely adds to the amazingness of this area here. Now, question for you guys. Do we need to do any more with this area? I know it's a little bit boring, but honestly, I feel like the candles and the little lanterns that we have on the wall and the tables, yes, it is kind of boring, but altogether, it actually doesn't look that boring. And I'm wondering, do we need to do anything more? I think for now we don't, and I'll see if you guys have any ideas in the comments, but for now I'm very much pleased with this idea, so we're gonna leave this area as is. And here is the entrance hallway. As you can see, I did a little bit more with the campfire torches right here. I also did a little like campfire chandelier thingy right here because there was like a block, like I think right here, yeah, that wasn't like spawn proof, so monsters could technically spawn on that block. So I did this thing here, but honestly I do really like it, honestly, so I think that it does work here. I don't know if we want to do anything fancy with these hallways here. Same with this one over here, mostly because this is supposed to be a magic school, and I kind of want all of the really cool decorations to lie within the classrooms that we will make. So I feel like these hallways here, whilst yes, they're a little bit boring for now, I think it's supposed to be that way. And then, you get more excited as you enter the main hallway here. And then maybe you go to like the first classroom here, or the classrooms on the second floor. And you are like, wow, there's, maybe floating dirt or something. Or maybe there's like water being moved throughout the school or something like that. I think it'll be a lot cooler later when we can get to more of the magical looking decorations. Now, I think the one thing that I'm going to quickly go ahead and do is, alongside adding some more torches over here, is I'm going to replace the floor down here, because I wanted to originally make the floor something fancy like this, but honestly, the simplicity of the normal deep slate right here, I think just makes this look so far inferior. So we're going to quickly go ahead and replace this. And here is the entranceway here. I love the way that this looks. I especially love like the kind of massive torches here. I really also like, for some reason, this is my favorite in the corner over here, because of where these are placed in the corners here, like in all the corners actually. There was one spot where monsters could spawn if it's nighttime. So I put these in here. It's rather simple. It's like quite literally just a block there with the campfire above it, and then slabs here. But you get this look from afar where all you see is like kind of like the bottom part there, and then you see the fire there. Like, you don't actually see the campfire part. And I really like that. It does look like you just see like the fire there. So I think that was definitely, I didn't mean to do that. I just kind of wanted to see what that would look like. And I'm glad I did, because I absolutely love the way that looks. And now the final thing that I would like to do is go ahead and make some custom trees and just decorate the outside area over here, because it's a little bit boring. I think I want to do like kind of a mini forest right here. I was going to do one massive tree here, which honestly, maybe I will take down the mini forest right here and build a massive tree here. Right now, I feel like I'm not good enough of a builder to do that, because I've never made a massive tree before. So we're going to wait for that. And then on this ledge right here, I think we're going to do a couple small trees, kind of like what we're going to do down there, but just a lot smaller here. And then I would like to make a path and I think a staircase leading down to here. I have begun to expand the moss over here. So I think we're going to make a staircase going down here with some paths going to this entranceway right here. And of course, we're going to light it up so we don't get monsters. We have a lot to do. Let's quickly go ahead and boot up one more time lapse. Oh man, I love the way that this looks. I'm definitely glad that we decided to take it a little bit slower and just work on the finer details here, because I think that this looks so much better. If you guys have any ideas on what I should use maybe for like the ground over here and whatnot, let me know. I think I like the path here. I don't think I'm gonna take any suggestions on the path here, but if you guys have anything, like maybe if you think we should put more flowers or anything like that, please let me know. The idea with the Lily of the Valleys is that I wanted it to feel magical, because this is a magical flower to me, right? You notice how it turns when you look at it like that. Like it turns depending on where you look at it. So because of that magicalness of it, I decided to put it here. I didn't put it anywhere lower, because this is kind of just like the main area that will, continue to build out and whatnot. So this isn't actually part of the Ashmere University, but you can also see I did do it up there. I did also build up that one tree. I don't think I did that. And yeah, I do really like this. And you can see I do have some carpets here. That is because on this level here, I actually have the green fog lights here to stop mobs from spawning. So I just have that there. And then I have the carpet over. So you can still see that it looks kind of like moss. But boy, do I love the way that this looks. I am so incredibly glad that we did this. Oh man, it feels so weird, right? Because I never wanted as a kid to build up Hogwarts. Like I never wanted to like recreate it one for one. I've always wanted to like build my own, right? And now we kind of have that, especially with the Great Hall up here. If I take a little bit of damage and just go a little bit way this way, like this is kind of like, it's not exactly the Great Hall from Harry Potter, but it's so similar. It's kind of like my own take on it. Man, I'm so glad that we're actually doing this. I love all of this. So ladies and gentlemen, that is where I think I'm going to call it for today's episode. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope Let me know in the comments on this. I really hope you guys are as excited as I am to work on this future project. I don't know what this entire area is going to be called. Obviously we have Ashmere University, but like I don't know what we're going to be calling the entire project of like building all my favorite franchise things here and whatnot. So if you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know in the comments. But I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I am very excited to be working on that entire project, and also Ashmere, oh my goodness, Ashmere University. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like and smashing that subscribe button. Other than that, I hope to see you guys in the next Minecraft video.